In this example, we're going to be finding the equations of two separate parabolas. Each parabola is given a focus and a directrix. So in part A, we're given that the focus is at 0, 7, and I'm going to make a graphical representation of this so that you understand how the parabola, how it consists of the focus and directrix, right? How the focus and directrices make the parabola. Okay, so 0, 7 is the focus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the focus. And the directrix is line y is equal to -7. So -7 is the line. And let's see what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So y is equal to -7 is this line. And this is the directrix. And the focus is here. So we know that when it comes to the focus and directrix, the vertex of the parabola will be located right in the middle, between the focus and the directrix. And in the middle, as you can already tell, is going to be the origin. Okay, because the distance from the origin to the focus is exactly 7 units, and the distance from the origin to the directrix line is also 7 units. Right? So we know that the vertex of this parabola will be right here. Okay? So now we know that the parabola will open away from the directrix. We know that, right? It cannot open in the same direction as the directrix. It will open away from it, right? So in this case, it's going to be opening up. Okay? It's going to look like this. And I'm not going to draw you an exact parabola, but we know when we're talking about opening up, there's going to be an equation, a raw equation formula that we use, which is going to be x minus h squared is equal to 4p times y minus k. Okay? So now we have to find the components in order to find the equation of this parabola. So the components are, so we know that vertex is at h comma k. Okay, we know that. So that's the vertex. And graphically, we know the vertex is going to be 0, 0. But suppose that you want to also confirm using some algebra, right? We know that h is going to be responsible for the x value, right? In this case, x is going to be just 0, right? So h is going to be 0 in this case. But how do we confirm algebraically that k is indeed equal to 0 as well? Well, k is going to be found by taking the average. The average of the -7 and then the 7, the value of the y value for the focus, and then dividing it by 2, right? So -7 plus 7, that's how you find the average, divided by 2. And that's going to be 0 over 2, which is 0, right? So the k value is indeed 0. Okay? So that's good. And now the p. Now the p is going to be the distance from the vertex to the focus. And it's also, notice that the p is also going to be the distance from the focus to the, from the vertex to the directrix line, right? It's going to be the same. But in this case, remember, p is always going to be positive. And it's positive because you're basically you're counting with it, right? You're always counting with the positives, and the p is going to be counted from down up, right? So we're going to be relating the vertex and the focus in this case. So the p value is going to be 7, the distance, right? Because you travel 7 units up to get to focus from the vertex, right? So p is equal to 7. So now the equation that we need becomes this: x minus 0 squared is equal to 4 times 7, the p value, times y minus, and the k value is also 0. So as a result, this is equal to x squared is equal to 28y. So there goes your equation that you successfully found. Now in problem B, the B part, it says the focus is -5 over 4 comma 0. Now let's find that focus first. So -5 comma 0, -5 over 4 comma 0. So that's a little bit greater than, a little bit less than -1, but definitely greater than -2, right? So it's going to be somewhere here. Okay, so that's going to be the focus, and the directrix is line x is equal to 5 over 4, right? So we know that the directrix is going to be here. And I'm going to make it thinner because it's going to be right beside it here. Right, so that's going to be 1/4 of that, so it's going to be somewhere here. Okay, maybe I should make it thicker. Right, so that's going to be just a little bit greater than 1. All right, so that's going to be the directrix line, which is x is equal to 5 over 4. We know that right in the middle will be the vertex, and in the middle of that, as you can see, is going to be 0 again. Right, so we know the vertex is going to be the 0 here. And we know that the parabola opens away from the directrix, right? So it's going to open this way. It's going to be opening left. Okay, so we're going to say it's opening left. And we know when we're talking about opening left, we know that we're going to be using this raw equation formula. Y minus k squared is equal to minus 4p. Be sure you understand it's minus, and that makes sense because we're going left with negative x values. So minus 4p times x minus h. Right, so let's find individual components. So vertex is again at x comma h. H comma k. So h comma k. So let's see what that's going to be. So we know k, that's the x value. The y value. So the k value is 0. Right? We know that when we're talking about opening left, it's the x values that differ. Right? The y value will be the same. Right? In this case, everything is at the x-axis, so k is equal to 0. That's the vertex y coordinate. Now the h value, it's 0 again, but let's confirm that. It's going to be the average of the focus x value and the directrix x value, right? So minus 5 over 4 plus 5 over 4 divided by 2, and there goes your average, which is 0 over 2, 0, right? So the h value is 0. And the p value, remember, p value must be positive because that minus will make sure that you're moving left, right? But the p value itself is positive, even though you're going negatively. Be sure that you always understand p is always going to be positive. Now p is going to be the distance, right? The distance between the focus and the vertex. In this case, it's going to be what? It's going to be precisely 5/4, right? And it's going to be positive. That's why it's 5/4 and not minus 5 over 4. And again, why? Because there's already a minus. Remember, p is always going to be positive. You will have different coefficients, positive or negative, respective to the direction that you're moving or opening your parabola, right? So p is equal to 5 over 4. So that means the equation that we need is y minus 0 squared is equal to minus 4 times 5 over 4 times x minus 0. So what that gives us is y squared is equal to minus 5, because fourths cancel out, and then x, right? So that's going to be the equation. So I hope this was useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.